Hey, what's up, fish family? So, do you guys remember my 6-gallon innovative marine frag tank? Do you ever think to yourself, what happened to it? Did I get rid of it? Did I shut it down? Or do I still have it set up? Well, today we'll find out the truth. But before we do so, I still have the 6-gallon innovative marine tank. But before we get into it on what I have in this aquarium, the filtration, the light, and everything, let me just give you guys a quick story. So be patient with me and I'll tell you guys everything that has been going on with this aquarium and everything in general with the hobby. So to be honest with you guys, I did shut down this tank. I recently just set up the aquarium. Sorry for that long brain fart. So finally I brought this tank back to life. You could call it the comeback, the restoration of this aquarium. So I'll just tell you guys a quick story what everything happened. So as you guys knew, I did have the 30-gallon long innovative marine, one as freshwater, the other one as saltwater. But as my wife decided to have her own saltwater tank, I thought a longer tank would be better for her. So what happened was we made the both 30-gallon innovative marine tanks into saltwater. So something bad happened with my wife's tank. So I had to do a emergency rescue for the corals and for the fish. And that could only happen with the help of my 6-gallon innovative marine tank. As you guys can see, it's already filled with corals. Everything's going well. I did make a DIY stand for this tank, but since me not being patient, the stand wasn't made correctly. It wasn't stabled and it wasn't leveled. But I had bought this stand that you see here at my local thrift store, and I actually like how it looks on this stand better than that DIY stand that I made for it. But like I said, this thing has been set up for a couple days now. But enough rambling, enough talking. Before we get to this aquarium, real quick, I just want to let you guys know that there's still gonna be more videos with my channel. Sorry, I know I've been really slow and uploading videos to my channel, but just recently life is good and there's things that I do in my personal life. But yeah, there's a lot of new things that are going to be coming to this channel. And to the right, I have a 20-gallon long Aquan tank. I haven't had a 20 long tank in more than a year now, probably almost 2 years, you could say. Before I bought the AquaTop tank, so I think it's been more than a year and a half now. But we'll see what I do with that aquarium. I took advantage of the $1 per gallon sale at Petco, and I was thinking between a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon high or a 20-gallon long. And I convinced my wife, hey, I have a white stand in my little room and I need a tank there. She said it was fine. But now let's go back to the 6-gallon aquarium. Now let's jump in real quick to the equipment before we hop in. For those that haven't had the opportunity or the chance to go back to my old videos, this is a 6-gallon innovative marine frag tank. It is rimless. It does come with the foam here. This tank retails about $60 to $70 depending where you get it. Now for the light, I have an AquaTop light that came with my AquaTop tank, which is a Planet tank, but we'll do an update on that in the future as I am doing a little test on that aquarium. Now for filtration, I have a these are called, oh man, I forgot the names of these. I know Fluval works with this company, AquaClear, but Fluval also is associated or associated with AquaClear tank filtrations. But this is an AquaClear 20, and I have the stock sponge, and I just have the ceramic rings, and a poly filter pad on top, and that's about it. I don't have any other mechanical filtration on that besides that. Now for a heater, I do have another I have a Marineland 50-watt heater there, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple tank. Why I turned down this tank, why I shut down, is because it wasn't doing well. But as time went on, as I grew in the hobby and I learned experience and I witnessed things and went through tribulations on this hobby, I found out what was the problem. My corals never opened up like how they have today. But enough talking, man. I talk too much, probably because I haven't made a video in so long. But let's jump in and tell you guys all about it right now, and I'll show you guys all the corals. Alright guys, so let's begin and show you guys what's actually inside this 6-gallon aquarium. So let's bring the camera down. Hopefully the light doesn't affect the video as much. Now, yes, it looks blue. So I've invested a little bit for my camera, and I have bought a filter. So hopefully the filter helps us today with the recording of this exciting video for me. Why exciting? Because I love the fact that this tank is doing so well. I was so disappointed with everything that went with this aquarium, but I'm happy because everything is doing amazing. Oh man. Alright guys, so sorry the filter isn't really showing justice of how beautiful this tank looks in person. So much color in this tank, but sadly the camera is not picking up how beautiful this aquarium actually looks, filled with corals. So let's just go ahead and tell you guys why I have all my corals that were in my wife's tank here. So, well, let's just go before that. So I had a couple corals here before just testing, and sadly they were dying. I always wondered why. I thought, was it the filtration? Was it the light? What was it? But then I thought to myself, wait, I had a 10-gallon saltwater setup. The corals were doing well. Fish were doing well. I had no algae problem. Why are the few corals that I had in the 10-gallon doing good, but here in the 6-gallon things were dying? Then on my wife's tank, the corals started dying. Some started dying. Some soils started melting. I always wondered why. What was going on? And not that long ago, I was looking at one of the corals, and all this time I thought that it was either the cocopods that were eating the psoas, or there was a psoa eating pest, or the psoas or whatever the other corals they just got sick. Then I've seen some corals and I thought it was just the algae killing the corals. And I just didn't bother. I put a yellow tank, and I was like, well, I told my wife, well, I hope the yellow tank cleans the corals, because we did make my wife's tank into a frag tank. And I told her, I hope it's the algae, and I hope the yellow tank eats up the algae. But then I thought to myself, why doesn't the yellow tank eat the algae in that psoa colony? Why doesn't the crabs, the snail eat the algae? What's going on? Then I noticed a big colony of psoas that I had placed in my wife's tank started looking ugly, and I thought to myself, what was it? And it grew this algae as well. And then one day after work, I just paid close attention, and I was like, there's something wrong. And when I actually looked at it closely and absorbed the coral, I noticed that it wasn't an algae. These things are actually called, what are they called, man? Digitata mohara, something like that. I forgot the name. But let's see if I can find it. Just be patient with me, and I'll show you guys right now exactly what I am talking about. Alright guys, for the purpose of showing you guys this, So the pest that I found that was killing off most of my corals is called a digitate hydroids. So these things basically have no predators. I've read through the forums that people gave up on their tanks, or they had to tear down their tanks because they couldn't find any solution for it. They didn't find any predators for this. So these things look like algae. They're like little feather dusters. Here's a closer picture. You see this? I thought that was algae because it was between the psoas, and then I put feather dust looking pest in psoa, and I came with this in the forums, and it's a digitate hydroids. So I started to I think I got rid of most of it. I probably have like one or two. I started off plugging it out with tweezers, and I also bought blue-legged hermit crabs because I did see somebody actually post a video on YouTube of it eating the hydroids, and no one in the forum said that blue-legged hermit crabs would do that. But that's the problem. But all the corals are happy now. Everything is open. So let me add the filter again, and we'll zoom in to the corals, and I'll let you guys know all the corals that I have in this 6-gallon setup. Alright guys, so let's start with the left side of the tank. Here I have some psoas. These are really not the high end, you could say. My low end psoas. I honestly don't even know most of the names of the corals I have, so sorry for that. But here I just have like my common psoas. They're like green, red, blue, yellow, and brown, and that's pretty much it. And I think back there I probably have a scrambled egg. But now let's go more to the center of the aquarium. Here I have a red Monty. Next to it I have a digitata, orange digitata. And over there, back there, I have a Hollywood Stunner. Now if we move a little bit more over, I have a Fabia, and then I have I think this is a Fire Lemonade Fabia, forgot the name. Then I have a green Ganipura back there. I also have a pink eye Hurricane Chalice. And here the big piece is a leather toadstool. And back there I have green star polyps. And let's move a little bit more over to the right. So here I have some green hairy mushrooms, and I have some firework clovers there. And again, I'm sorry that the camera's not picking up the corals how I would love for it to do. Then I have a Kenya tree as well, and I have a red mushroom there to the left. And here I have my most beautiful psoas, but sadly the camera's not picking up the amazing color. So being a 6-gallon tank, there isn't really that much to this aquarium to show you guys, but let's see if I'm able to actually get some color if I take video from the top. So let's try it out. Alright guys, so I'm trying to get some color for you guys, but sadly it's not working out for me. The filter is not making justice of how colorful and beautiful this 6-gallon tank is. So I don't know if it's the camera, if it's the filter. I need to see, but this is my tank. So I don't know if this tank is going to be set up temporarily or permanent. To be honest, I just haven't had time. But one of my 30-gallon inverted marines is pretty much going to be shut down, and there isn't really nothing in one of them now, just a couple fish, a couple pieces of coral. So that tank's going to be shut down. These corals come from it, and oh yeah, I just haven't had time. So I've been thinking and been wanting to sell the corals here. I just haven't had time to take separate pictures of each coral. but I'll probably do that this weekend if there's any time for it. Now let me just turn on the white light to see if even helps. Oh, sorry. If it helps the quality of the video. And let me take off the filter. Like I said, I haven't had any time to put up these corals online on my local Facebook page or on Craigslist. Probably for that is just because, like I said, I've been really busy. And also I have already rehomed some fish, rehomed some corals, which brought a good decent amount of money, which slowed down that process of rehoming everything else. But I am looking to rehome all these corals here because there isn't room in my other 30-gallon long tank. So there's so many things, man. There's so many things that I want to do, but I need to think on it before acting on it. Everything looks happy here, so I don't think I'll be moving things from this aquarium. As long as the corals give me sign of life and happiness in this setup, they're going to stay in this tank for a while until they find their forever home. So now that I have both lights, let's see if you guys could get a better look of all the corals that I have here again. Sadly, the white and blues doesn't give it justice, just like the filter didn't. But it gives you guys actually a better view of the corals. Like I said, you have to see this tank, this corals in person, so you could actually get the feel and see the amazing color under the blues. Look at the filter that I have. I just love this quick setup, this simple budget setup. So who said you cannot keep a frag tank, a saltwater tank, without a budget? With a budget, they make it seem so hard. They make it seem so expensive. I learned from my mistakes. I wasted a lot of money trying to copy these people online. The thing that I recommend, just learn from your experience, get experience and know your aquariums, know the ecosystem and the tanks, and everything will thrive. Look at this. I do not dose this tank. It's a budget light. It's not a high quality filter. There isn't really any mechanical filtration here. There isn't no wave pumps, but everything's just looking nice. Everything's looking really well. Corals are loving it. Look at that. Now let's see if I turn on the blues without the filter. So this is the tank without the white and without the filter. I actually think it looks a little bit better. Man, I wish you guys would be able to see this tank in person. You guys will totally love it. The corals are for sure loving it. So one thing I did research and found out that corals actually benefit more of the blue light, and I used to think to myself that they actually benefit from the white lights, but no, they don't. So what I have for this tank, I turn on the blue lights at 11, or my wife does, at 11 a.m. and I shut it down around 10 p.m. It's being a low budget light, just some blues. The corals love it, and it's not causing any type of algae problems. Like I said, just set up this tank 3 days ago, and you can say, how could you have corals? Why don't you have an algae bloom? Well, remember ceramic rings that I spoke about previously, and I always say it in all my videos? Well, the ceramic rings help me skip through that cycling process, and I could add fish or corals instantly. I actually went to the pet store today, and I was thinking of getting a saltwater molly for this tank, because going to one of the local reefer's house, he told me he does not feed his corals. He told me he does not dose his tanks. He says that his corals just benefit of the poop of the fish, of the waste of the fish. That's how the corals feed, from the water column. And his tank is amazing. I wish I had his tank. So yeah, here is the return, the revival of the 6-gallon innovative marine tank. Like I said, I do not know if this is going to be temporarily or permanent. To be honest with you guys, I was thinking of selling this tank, and I might just do that. And I was actually thinking of either selling the corals individually or just selling the whole setup by itself with the corals, the light, the filter, the heater. So I'm probably gonna do that during the weekend. I'll let you guys know, and pretty soon we will have that tank set up. And in another video, I will tell you guys why I got this tank. It's not because I want to, but I have to. So this tank is not going to be permanent either. It's going to be temp for a short period of time, because I am doing a test on this planet tank, which I just turned off the light just to make this video. Either way, this tank's just going to be temporary, but it might be permanent if everything goes well. So we'll see. That's for another video. Anyhow, I thank you guys again for watching, and sorry if I confused you guys for rambling, just speaking random thoughts. I thank you guys again. For those who are new to my channel, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. For those that just came across this video, if you like the content, you are welcome to subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding saltwater, freshwater aquariums. I'm not an expert, but I do have some experience under my belt. Or is that a proper way to say it? Doesn't sound right, but I do have experience in this hobby. So you guys are welcome to leave any comments, any questions on the comments down below. You are welcome. You are free to subscribe. I will subscribe back. And I'm actually thinking of doing live streams with other YouTubers. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys would want to do a live stream with me. We could set up something. But yeah, anyhow guys, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching again. It's getting pretty late. The sun is down and it's nighttime here. So let me just start editing this video, and I hope you guys like. Till then, I'm out.